I'll be honest, I took a loss today. I didn't really want to edit the entire video of the live trading. So we're just going to get into the process. We'll start off with what I can take from this trade. Genuinely limit your losses. If the trade is not going your way, just exit instantly. Like, don't try to make the trade go your way because it's not going to work out. And I'll explain the trade. We don't have to go through the whole live process. I'll just break down what I thought, what I seen, and how I got in. So we got in at about 9:30. This is what we seen, right? So we seen this movement push all the way up here. We seen it have a little weakness here. We identified, hey, we broke out of this range because in theory, I was just thinking, hey, we're going to trade within this range. So if we consistently stay within this range, we'll be fine, right? So here to somewhere about here. I'm like, if we trade within this range, then we should even fall down here and then eventually come here. But worst case scenario, let's just say we trade within this range right here because it's a smaller range and we're not expecting it to kind of fall out like this and have to gap back up. We'll just say it stays in the gapped up range and we trade it like this. My thought process was that we broke this high. Yes, we did. And this is where I said that if something happens in the market, respect it. Today was a day where I tried to assume that I knew more than what the market was going to. I could guess the market. You cannot guess the market. The market is going to do what it wants to do. You have to follow it to make money. So what I thought was, okay, we're going to make a high here, or I should bring it up here. We're going to make a high here, which we did. We broke out of this range. Now that we breaking out of this range, we need to look for calls. So I'm going to go down to the lower time frame and I should be looking for calls. Instead, I said, nah, we broke out of this range and we didn't have enough volume to push out, which we didn't. That was the truth. We did not have enough volume to push out of this range and get up into this next one because I figured with the price being so high at 680 and then on the daily time frame, I figured we didn't have enough volume to push out of this at 10 o'clock. It was 10 o'clock. So I'm like, within 2 hours, bro, we're going to push all the way up to like 684, 685. I don't believe so. So I'm going to get into puts. Wrong idea, right? And the reason why I say it's a wrong idea, it wasn't enough volume, bro. We had already broke this high here that we resisted so many times. So that is enough indication for you to say either the price is gonna go up or that's it. I'm not going to try to play puts because every time I tried to play puts, the price would shoot back up. So here we go. This is the 15 minute. I think I could see it better on a 5, I believe. Let's see, 9. Okay, so I believe I seen it better on a 5 going back and forth. So here's about 9:30, 9:40. We seen it hit this high. We watched it and then it broke this. And I said, okay, we just broke a low, but we didn't break a previous low. I mean, we didn't break like a huge low. We just broke like something smooth, right? It was like a nice little, uh, um, kind of just showing that the trade was kind of cooling off a little bit, especially with all of this big bullish movement. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, is that the right spot? Yeah. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, let's get in on this candle. And as soon as I got in, it wicked all the way down here. And I said, all right, we looking good. It did. I was thinking maybe it could come to the 680.20 support and play with it. It did not do that. We held it here. It broke another high in this area. Right when it broke this high, right here, this is where I should have got out. This is where I should have said to myself, this trade is no longer valid. We already broke the highs that we were resisting right here. We broke them here. I was thinking since we made a new low here, and then after that, we made another new low, we didn't make another high because this is our original high that we're playing off of that we're getting in. We didn't make this high. I'm thinking for sure from this point right here, we're going to chase at least down to 680, 679, and we're going to take profit because our contract was 678.90 or something like that. But with most, it was like down here, but most of the time you're gonna sell before you hit this, right? So like a lot of days, like even if I'm making 100%, as long as the trade is going your way, you 9 times out of 10 you're gonna sell the contract before it actually hits your price range. So if there was enough volume pushing this price down, I could have sold at 679 with probably 50% profit, or maybe even 70, because if there was enough volume pushing it down, buyers would then start inflating those contract prices, right? Or sellers, I should say, but they're going to be buying puts and they would inflate that contract. So broke this high here. What I'm looking at, and I'll move this here so we can get better context. What I'm looking at is right inside of this box. Can I move the box? Can we move the box? Can we move the box? Can we move the box? All right, screw it. We can't move the box. We won't. I know I can move this box. Just not letting me move the box. Okay. So we'll create a new box. This is what we're looking at right here. This is the frame that we're seeing. Bang. Now, looking inside of this frame, if you was to get in, right? And all of this hasn't happened in the market. Price pushes up. It cools off a little bit. It retests. Doesn't take, right? As this falls, I get in. Boom, 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 boom. Once it broke, I think once it broke here, I got in. So once it broke here, I got in. Falls down here, I'm like, okay, cool. We moving in the right direction. Now, these are 5-minute candles, by the way. So I'm waiting for this whole 15 minutes. So the last few minutes of the 15-minute candle, we're down here. So I'm like, cool, bro. 15-minute candle's gonna close. We're gonna be good. We're just gonna melt off, right? Boom, we hit this low, and I'm like, all right, as soon as we hit a new low, we always got to push up a little bit, see where the buyers, they're at. We push all the way back up to pretty much a new high, basically. So 683 and 683 is, I'll say it's even. It's pretty much even. So we push back up to even. We cool off. This happens within like 2 minutes, bro. And I'm like, oh, bro, that's a crazy wick. But we then melt off. Now, this is where it gets scary, because we melted off and we didn't break this low here. I wasn't sure if we were going to continue to melt. We did on this candle, but we still didn't break this low here. So now in my brain, and the way this is setting up, buyers are like, okay, this is our low that we're not breaking, and this is a nice bullish move. We know there's still buyers in here. Let's go ahead and push this price up. Now it pushes the price up past where our previous high was. This is where we were playing. This is what the puts we were playing. As soon as this breaks, I should have got out. I should have called it, said, all right, trade's over with, GG's, going by my day. I held it way too long, and you can see I just held it entirely too long. Now, I did hold it through here, but by the time we got here, the contract was a little bit below break even. So at this point, I'm thinking like, all right, we haven't broke any crazy lows, but we're also not breaking any high. Well, I can't say that because we had it here. We made a new high, and then we made a low, which was a new low here. So I'm thinking, all right, we might get wicked and keep going down. So I hold here. We make a new high. I'm like, I'm confident. It's fine. But it's so late in the market. We make this new high at 1140. I ain't gonna say a new high, but a lower high at 1140, 1145. There's not enough time in the market for this contract to be worth anything. So by the time we reach here, I sold off around, I'll say here, so about 680.23 for less. I mean, for a 60% loss. So it's like a 60-70% loss that I sold off right here, and it pushed all the way down here. Now, even pushing all the way down here, I still wasn't in profit. So this trade was a loser because the move happened so late. But even though it still didn't hit my price point, but if I did get this move earlier in the trade, it could have been profit. Like if we got this move right here and price fell out, we would have made about 40-50% today. But what ifs? Who cares? Doesn't matter. We lost money today. But I didn't want to go through and edit this whole video. Losers suck, but what can we learn from this? And what I will honestly say is trust the trend. Like, trust what you see. On the daily, you see this massive, thick green candle, find a spot to get in for buys. That's it. If I found one spot, and I'm saying this because I understand how to trade. If I found one spot, I got in at what time did I say I get in at? Like 9:30ish, right? Let's just find one low. If I just trusted what I was supposed to do, this low right here, I buy at 680.21. I sell at 680.88. Probably don't make too much profit, but maybe a 10% trade. Let's say this low here, I probably would. I'm not even going to count this. I wouldn't even be in that late, to be honest. So there was one opportunity that I could have made happen, which was here. And maybe, yeah, that's pretty much all I had. And I could have, if I decided, if my bias was to buy lows, I could have bought lows in this range right here and then held it all the way up to here or even sold off here and still made 10 to 20%. So it's my fault. I'll take the blame. It is what it is. But learning, trust the trend, bro. If the trend's pushing one way, you follow the trend. You rock with the trend, because every single support, it did not get broken. It was just getting pushed up. Anytime we get into a support area, look, push hard, push hard, push hard. You get anywhere near a support, we're pushing price hard. All I had to do is follow the trend. It's on me. It's okay. It is what it is. We down 70%. I don't know, 60, close to 70% today. We'll get it back on Monday.